Picture your breakfast this morning. Cereal, toast, maybe some yogurt. Now wipe that completely from your mind. Because 20,000 years ago, as glaciers scraped across continents and saber-tooths stalked the frozen plains, the first meal of the day wasn't just different. It was a brutal, ingenious, and sometimes downright shocking fight for survival fuel. Forget everything you think you know about a balanced breakfast. What our Ice Age ancestors actually ate to power through Sub-Zero mornings will leave you stunned. We're talking megabeasts, toxic plants, and survival strategies so extreme. They redefined the word breakfast. Forget Fred Flintstone ordering a brontosaurus burger. Forget cozy cave paintings. The reality of an Ice Age morning. It was raw, it was brutal, and it started with one overwhelming truth. Survival wasn't guaranteed. Every single day was a high-stakes gamble against the elements, against predators, and against sheer, gnawing hunger. We're talking temperatures plunging 10, 20, even 30 degrees below freezing. Imagine stepping out of your crude shelter before dawn, bone-chilled, into a world sculpted by mile-thick ice sheets. Your breath hangs frozen in the air. Your stomach screams. And you know breakfast isn't sitting in a cupboard. It's out there, somewhere, if you're lucky, if you're skilled. If you don't become something else's breakfast, first. Protein builds. Muscle, sure, but fat. Fat was the secret weapon. It was the concentrated energy source that made survival in that frozen hellscape even remotely possible. Think about thermoregulation, keeping your core temperature at 98.6 degrees when the air is trying to freeze you solid. That takes an enormous amount of energy. Shivering. That's your muscles burning fuel just to generate heat. Fat acts as insulation and as the most efficient fuel for that internal furnace. Gram for gram, fat provides over twice the calories of protein or carbohydrates. In a world where carrying capacity was limited and every calorie counted, fat was pure gold. Forget the image of a caveman effortlessly clubbing a giant mammoth every other day. While megafauna hunts did happen and were monumental events, they were incredibly high-risk, high-reward gambles. They required immense planning, coordination, courage, and a hefty dose of luck. A single misstep could mean death, trampled, gored, or simply left injured and doomed. These weren't weekly occurrences. More often, breakfast came from sources that were smaller, faster, and far more reliable. Okay, mammoths make great movie monsters and museum centerpieces. But for your average Ice Age family, hoping for breakfast, chasing megabeasts was like playing the lottery. The real MVP, the daily breadwinner, meat winner, was often far less dramatic but infinitely more dependable. Meet the reindeer, caribou, migrating in massive herds. They were a predictable, renewable resource packed with fat, protein, and hides. They were the cornerstone calorie source across vast stretches of Eurasia and North America. Think less epic hunt, more critical seasonal harvest. Here's the shocker that often gets buried under the bones of giant beasts. Plants were absolutely critical. Forget the meat-only caveman myth. In warmer months and milder regions, roots, tubers, nuts, seeds, and berries could provide 50% or more of the daily calories. But this wasn't strolling through a supermarket produce aisle. This was botanical survival mastery. All right, time to confront the elephant in the room, or rather, the grub in the log. If you think insects are icky, you wouldn't last a week. In the Ice Age, bugs weren't just eaten, they were prized. Larvae, grubs, termites, ants, beetles, these were concentrated packets of fat and protein, available year-round with minimal hunting risk. Think of them as nature's protein bars. Highly efficient, often found in decaying wood or under rocks. They provided essential calories and nutrients when other sources were scarce. No fancy tools needed, just knowledge and a lack of modern squeamishness. Okay, we've talked about the reliable staples. Now, let's talk about the legends. The megabeasts, woolly mammoths, giant ground sloths, woolly rhinos, steppe bison the size of small trucks. Hunting these titans wasn't breakfast. It was a potential generational feast. But make no mistake, it was also insanely dangerous, a colossal gamble requiring near-miraculous coordination and nerve. Forget one caveman with a club. This was operational warfare against nature's tanks. We mentioned organs in Chapter 2, but with megafauna, nose two-tail eating reached an industrial scale. Nothing was discarded, nothing. The massive liver, kidneys, heart, tongue, even the brain, rich in fats and crucial for processing hides, were immediate nutrient-dense prizes. These weren't afterthoughts. They were often consumed first, raw or quickly roasted, for a vital energy surge after the exhausting hunt. Hunting megabeasts was high. Hunting small game required skill and luck, but sometimes, luck ran out completely. That's where scavenging became a grim necessity, far more common than heroic hunt depictions suggest. Finding a carcass killed by a cave lion, direwolf, or even a rival human group could mean survival, but it came with dangers, confronting the predator that made the kill, fighting off other scavengers, and the risk of consuming rotten or diseased meat. So what exactly was on the nutritional label of an Ice Age breakfast? Let's break it down. Forget low-fat or high-fiber. Their diet was an extremophile's fuel mix, astronomically high in animal fat and protein, incredibly low in carbohydrates and sugars. Think 50 to 70% of calories from fat, 25 to 35% from protein, and maybe 5 to 20% from carbs. Almost exclusively complex carbs from tough tubers and nuts, not grains or refined sugars. Beyond the massive macros, the real superfood magic was in the micronutrients, packed into their diverse nose-to-tail seasonal diet. Eating organs like liver was like swallowing a multivitamin. Insane levels of vitamin A, crucial for immune function and vision in dim light. Iron preventing anemia for endurance. And copper, bone marrow and brain-delivered vitamin K2, essential for bone health and calcium metabolism. Think strong skeletons hauling mammoth parts. B12 vital for nerve function and energy. And specific omega-3 fatty acids, anti-inflammatory, brain health. The paleo diet gets one thing right. Our modern industrialized diet, especially the sugar bomb breakfast, is disastrously mismatched to our biology, but strict paleo often misses the mark. We aren't living in the Ice Age. We don't need 5,000 calories a day. We have access to safe, diverse foods they couldn't dream of. So, forget slavish reenactment. Focus on the core principles. So, the next time you sit down to breakfast, take a moment, think about that frozen world 20,000 years ago. Think about the sheer ingenuity, the brutal risks, the deep respect for every scrap of energy that fueled our ancestors through an epoch defined by ice. Their shocking diet wasn't a choice. It was a masterpiece of adaptation, a testament to human resilience in the face of impossible odds. What shocked you the most about the Ice Age breakfast? Was it the bone grease? The detoxified plants? The sheer importance of fat? Drop your biggest wow moment in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this journey into our deep past made you rethink your next meal, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps. Want more deep dives into how humans conquered the planet? Subscribe and hit the bell. We explore the wild, untold stories of survival that shaped who we are. Thanks for watching. Go enjoy your breakfast, maybe with a newfound appreciation. Stay curious.